Hey guys, this is Travis with Mora Bushcraft, and today we're going to be looking at two knives that are becoming very popular in the bushcraft world. One of those is the Mora Companion, and the other one is the Mora Bushcraft Black, or Mora Black they're calling it. And I just want to give you guys a comparison of the two of those side by side because there is a significant price difference, and I just want you guys to look at those and hear my thoughts and opinions, where you guys can make an educated decision if you're looking at buying one. Okay guys, to start with, I'm going to start with the Companion. I've had it a little bit longer, and it is a great little knife. The sheath is lacking some things to be desired. As you can see, I can throw it right out of the sheath. It doesn't hold worth nothing. If you're not careful, if you're carrying it on a bag or something, it will fall right out. And in fact, Tim was with me the other day and got out and his knife was gone. It was laying in the bottom of the four-wheeler of the Polaris. So anyway, this is a great little knife. It's 10 inches in length total, and it's 2.5 millimeters thick. So you guys can see the thickness here of this blade. It's almost like a butcher knife. It's about an 1/8 inch thick. The blade itself is 4.1 inches long, and then the whole knife is 8.6 inches long. My bad, I said it was 10 inches long a second ago, but the blade thickness is 0.10 inches thick is what it is, or 2.5 millimeters. But the entire knife is 8.6 inches long, and this little thing runs about 14 bucks on Amazon. And you can get all kinds of different colors if your daughters or your wife or girlfriend or whoever wants I think there's a purple one and different things. But these are nice little knives. Had no problems with it. It would not throw sparks on the back when I got it, so I had to modify that on a grinder to get it to throw sparks. But now it will throw sparks just fine, as you guys can see. No problem throwing sparks now. And a couple of weeks ago, I took a piece of wood just like this right here, and I started to make a spoon. I made this spoon right here, and I started trying to do it with my Becker BK16, and it was really difficult. This is olive wood, so it's hard wood, but this was giving me a pretty rough time. I was getting some hot spots. I mean, you're talking some fine detail work here and trying to make the spoon and get down in here and holding on the blade and stuff. So I worked on this spoon for about 2 hours with this knife and decided to stop that and to grab this little Mora Companion. And it was just a real pleasure as I was working on this knife, working on this spoon. Had no hot spots really, nothing like that. And I did the rest of this spoon in, I don't know, 2 hours, 3 hours. Took this piece of olive and made this spoon with this knife. And so after doing that, I started looking at the Mora Black because I loved this knife, but it's just not, it's not heavy duty enough. I mean, when you're looking at using something like this all the time, or an SE4 or a Tops Bob, which I'll have a review coming out on the 3 of those together soon. I'm waiting on the Bob. This right here feels like a tool in your hand. This is awesome because it's full tang, and you just feel like you can really work with this thing. If you had to abuse it, you could. I have seen people batoning these little knives. I guess you could if you needed to. I don't know why you would want to, because it is just 2.5 millimeters thick. And so from that point, I started looking at the Black and started looking at reviews, and I bought one. And as you can see, the case is much, the sheath is much better than the other one. It does lock in here really nicely. And the sheaths are, let me show you the sheaths here. As you can see, the sheaths, this one kind of just goes over your belt and clips on and does not rotate or anything. It's cheap. I mean, the knife is $14. What do you expect? This one, it can rotate on your belt and stuff, and the sheath's much better. But if I were to do it again, I mean, I'm gonna make a sheath for this. I'll make my own Kydex sheath for it just because it locks in nice, but that's about all it does. So anyway, on to the black. The black is a little bit thicker blade. I think I was wrong in saying this was 1/8 of an inch. This is not. This is less than 1/8 of an inch. I don't think it's a 1/16 though. This is actually a full 1/8 of an inch thickness. Okay, so this is pretty thick. It feels more like a tool in your hand than the other one, but still, this is just 3/4 tang. The blade itself is 4.3 inches long compared to 4.1 inches long on the companion. The total knife length is 9.3 inches long versus the 8.6 inches long, and the handle is just amazing on this black. The handle is, I love it. I have done some whittling, I've done some feather sticks, I've started a few fires with this knife. This knife is really awesome. I haven't carved a spoon yet, but I don't think I will have a problem with that. You can see the point of the knife, how it comes up. You guys can see that. It's a very strong point on the knife. Just an awesome feeling knife in your hand. The beauty of this, and one of my things for a knife is it's got to be able to throw sparks, and because I love starting them with a ferro rod, fires with a ferro rod. This knife right out of the box, I have done nothing to this knife, and this thing just shaves them off right out of the box. So this is a very good knife. The problem with this knife, as most people say, is it is $44. I'm not sure why this one is $14 and this one is $44. For me, it was worth it. I do like this knife. That's funny, I see a cow on our back screen there, but that's one of our cows. He's just eating. One of these days you may see this knife processing that cow. Anyway, this knife was worth it for me just because it's a little heavier duty. It's got an awesome feel. I've had no hot spots whatsoever in all the whittling or striking fires or anything I've done with this knife. I love it. Now once again, it's not my go-to knife. This knife is in my bag, ready to go if I need to do fine tasks like making a spoon or making some kind of bowls or doing any kind of meat, fish, anything like that, any kind of feather sticks, any fine small work I would gladly do with this knife. But this one right here, the BK16 so far, is my go-to knife. I mean, this is the one I carry on my side. This is the one that I know I can beat to pieces and keep going, and I'm waiting on the Bob. Like I said, I've seen a lot of good things about the Bob, but I just love this little knife, and this is the knife I carry. But this knife right here will always be in my bag. And so, is it worth it? It is to me. It may not be to you guys. If you're wanting to get your kids and stuff into it, obviously I would just buy them this $14 knife to get them started into bushcraft or whatever they're wanting to do. If they like to whittle and go with you in the woods or whatever, even your wife. And then when they start doing more and more and you see that they're enjoying it more, then you can move them up to this one. But that's just my quick thoughts on these two knives. I still love this knife. It's not a problem. I probably won't use it anymore as much. Maybe I'll give it to one of my kids. But just wanted you guys to see those side by side, get my thoughts and opinions on them. They're both great little knives, but it really is worth it. I truly believe that. I love the feel of it. The Scandi grind is awesome. The coating is awesome. Not going to rust on you. It's high carbon steel. They're awesome knives, but once again, it's not a tool like that you can beat to pieces. It is a tool to do fine bushcraft work, but it's not something you're going to beat to pieces. And so anyway, guys, I hope that's helped you. If you're struggling between the two, once again, the sheaths, the Mora Black has a much better sheath. Locks in there nicely. this one, you're going to lose your knife if you're not careful. Maybe Ranger band it in or something. But that's my thoughts on the two knives. Once again, I hope that's helped you guys. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed my thoughts on these two wonderful little knives. I hope that helps you make an educated decision if you're looking at buying one. But until next time, remember guys, practice for the crisis, so that in the crisis, it's just like practice.